Okay, so in this next video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to number 3. Now with number 3, the reason why I wanted to choose it because it is an even function. It's to the 4th power. So it's f of x is equal to 6x to the 4th power plus 5x cubed minus 20x squared minus 25x minus 6. So as you can see, I have the problem here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our graphing calculators. We're going to go to y equals, and we're going to clear out what I have in there already and type in the new function. So 6x, and then we have to raise that to the 4th power. Be sure and right arrow out of that, 5x, and we're going to raise that to the 3rd power, right arrow out, minus 20x, and then I can just hit the square button for that one, minus 25x, and minus 6. Be sure that you are using minus signs here and not negative signs, otherwise you're going to get an error message. So now we have the function in. If you want to, you can go ahead and graph the function. Now, the last graph I used, if you're able to do this, I just went to, let's go to Zoom and put in 6 for a normal graph, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we can kind of see it here. Now, another option that you can do if you don't have a graphing calculator is go to your computer and type in, or on your phones, well, and type in Desmos. Okay, do you see it right there? It's Desmos, Desmos. And that is just a graphing function, Desmos right here. It is completely free. Just hit start graphing. You can set up an account, but this is what it looks like. So it's a pretty cool graph. And like if you want to type in your functions, you just go down here. There's this little button down here that you can go to. There you go. All right, and so we see here that we have it. So I can actually just type this in by going to, you can type it in by your keyboard, or you can use this to, actually it's 6, isn't it? Let me back that up. Okay, so 6, and then we're gonna put in x, and we're gonna raise that. Now it's saying squared. I'm gonna see if it'll let me, there we go, I can change it. Did you see I just backed arrow and I can put my 4 in, and then just like you do on your calculator, you're just gonna right arrow out of that. Okay, and then we're gonna type in plus 5. Whoopsie. You can also use the plus here on this, whichever one works quicker, plus, and then we'll type in 5, and then we're gonna type in x, and then type in the x squared, but once again we're going to back arrow, and I'm going to change that to a 3, and then right arrow out of that. Okay, and then we're going to put in minus, so I'm going to come over here and choose negative 20, and this time we can use the x squared finally. Choose a squared, and then minus 6. Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, the graph kind of looks wonky. I can get rid of this thing here by just hitting that little down arrow button. It gets rid of it. And then I can kind of move my graph out just so I can kind of look at it and see what is going on. So it looks like with this graph, I'm actually just gonna have 2 zeros here with this one. I'm gonna make sure I type it in right too, 5x squared minus 20x. Oh, and I did not type it in correctly. I'm so sorry. Some things never change, right? Okay, I left off the 25x. That will make a big difference. So 25x and then minus 6. There we go. All right, so now let's go back. So now we have it incorrectly. Now you're going to go back. And if you want to really get a good look at those zeros, you can right there. So it looks like we have one at 2 and one between 0 and negative 1, one at negative 1, and one between negative 1 and negative 2. So maybe negative 1/2, negative 1, negative 1.5, and then also at 2. So we're crossing at 4 places. But remember, we can also check this for sure in our calculator by going to the purple apps button, going to number 9. No, not 9. Yes, it is 9. To the Poly Solver, hit any key, and choose number 1 because we want the roots. And this time we're going to choose 4 because our highest exponent is 4. So I'm just going to go back and be sure it's on real. I don't know why I changed that. Oh, well, it's not going to let me change. I don't think it'll make a difference, so we're just going to go on for mess things up. Okay, so for my A4, I'm going to take the coefficient of x to the 4th, which is 6. For my x cubed, we're going to take the 5. For my x squared, we're going to take negative 20. For the x, negative 25. And for the next one, negative 6. And there they are. So next, we're just going to hit solve. And yep, just like what I thought. It's actually negative 0.333 repeating. So your answers here, we're just going to plop these on the notebook, is that x is equal to 2, negative 1.5, negative 1, and negative 0.33 repeating. Okay. So this is an even graph, which means that the right tail is going to be up and the left tail is going to be down. So I'm just going to put in 1, 2, and then negative 1 and 2 because that's all we're going to need. So we know that we're going through 2. We know that we're going through negative 0.3, which is a little less than negative 1/2, at negative 1 and negative 1.5. So now we're going to be coming from up because right tail, left tail up, right tail down. And then we're just going to weave in and out. And so there's your graph. And notice both tails are up. I'm sorry, I said right tail down. I meant right tail up. So when your graph is positive, when it is positive and even, okay, so it is positive and even. Let me see if I can pull this up. Just trying to maneuver all this and hold my phone at the same time. So not so easy for me. Y'all know that, right? Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, so it is even degree and positive, which means both tails will be up, and that's the case of this graph. So I want you, if you're not able to use your Poly Solver on your calculator, try using Desmos and typing in the graph and see if you can find the roots that way. So continue working with this worksheet and also the other attached one, and let's see how you can do. And I will do some more videos for you on that tomorrow. Thanks.